Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can go ahead and enable the guest users to be part of global address list. This is called as also GAL, right? You might be wondering how we can do that or whether that is really possible or not, right? And you might have asked that question to yourself or maybe someone within your team, or maybe that's something you wanted to bring on, because if it is something for any organization that they have partnered with different customers, vendors, right, and they wanted to be sure that those guest users should be part of GAL as well in order to be make the communication more easier, right? And there is another way. If we wanted to bring those contacts or bring those guest users to the GAL, then we have to either add it them to the contacts, right? Or else we have to bring them into the distribution list, right? Those are the other ways by using we can bring them into the GAL, but that's not really the great, or that's not really the direct way. That's something which is kind of indirect way. And many organizations don't follow that way, because if we are adding contact that becomes or that is available into the GAL, but still that's just a contact. That's not a guest user, right? But in the guest user context, we have to bring those contacts into the GAL, and then that can be leveraged and used for the email communications that we wanted to use and let people use across the organization, right? And that is why I'm going to show you how we can do this for the guest users in the organization. And by default, this capability, which is going to be always set to false, false as in it's not going to enable, right? And to do that, we have to make it enabled. So this feature, or there's a property which is called as enabling the or enable the hidden. Uh, I'll tell you what is it. Yeah, hidden from the address list enabled set to true. So that's going to always be a true for the guest users. And if you wanted to bring that into the GAL, then we have to set it to false, right? So we can do that using two methods. One is Exchange PowerShell, and second is Microsoft Graph PowerShell, right? So I'm going to show you on Exchange as well as on the Thomas Graph. So you know how you can do that, right? And based on that, you'll be able to make that change or use that, right? All right. So let me share my screen quickly, and I'll walk you through the script first, and then we'll show you how we can go ahead and proceed further with guest user account, right? So let me share it here. All right, so I want PowerShell script or PowerShell module now. I have already connected to the Exchange Online as well as MS Graph PowerShell, right? So I'll just jump onto the PowerShell commandlets. So here are the bunch of commandlets where I am going to show you one by one and which script or commandlet is going to be used for what, right? So this is the one of the command which is going to give us, or we are just going to filter out all the guest users from the tenant. Let's say we have 100 or maybe more than that. So you can see that I have few guest accounts over here, right? And each of those are not enabled yet, right? I have enabled cal for one of the account, which you can see this one here, but it does not show up here. And if we filter it out with the commandlet, then it's going to show you. So I'll show you that. Let's say this account, and this is the graph commandlet. So if I hit enter, and there's a property called as hidden from mail address list. So I'll just show you that one here. Perfect. Here you can see that which is hidden from address list enabled, right? So currently this is set to false. That means it is enabled for this account, but by default it's going to be disabled. Disabled as in it's going to be true over here, right? So similarly, I will just pick up one of the account from here, right? So let's say this one, and I will put this account over here to search it out, and we can do the FL for this account, right? So let's scroll up a bit and we should be able to see that hidden. Perfect. So you can see that it is set to true. That means this account is not yet allowed to get into the gallery, right? Whenever it is set to true, that means this account is going to be not allowed. It's going to be disabled. So it's kind of opposite to each other, true and false, right? So you need to understand that as well, right? And that may be confusing or confused at one point, but yeah, you need to understand that this way you should be able to make that change, right? And also this is very important to know whether we wanted to allow or we wanted to disable or something like that, right? So now we saw that on both account where it is enabled and where it is not enabled, right? So now to enable that one using Exchange commandlet as well as PowerShell or Graph PowerShell. So this is the Graph PowerShell commandlet and this is the Exchange commandlet, right? So now we saw that second account does not have it enabled, right? So this is that account. And to set it up, we just need to run this commandlet and then it's going to be set it to false, right? We saw that it is set to true, right? So I will just show you again this one. Now we wanted to make it to false. So this account is becoming the or is going to become a part of get, right? So once we do that, it's going to set up. You can see that it's added. Now let's go back and see its property hidden address list, right? So it should show us the results over here. You can see that it is false now, right? So that is set to false. That means this account is going to be enabled. Now, how we are going to check it, right? So to check that, we can simply copy it and check it in the draft over here. But remember one thing that if you have had a communication before using this email or you have sent such emails, then probably the same account is going to show us over here because it's going to cache that account and that's why you would see that up, right? And to do that, I will run the same command on other account and then I will show you, right? Because we wanted to see how it really works or what is the real experience, right? So let me run this first command so that we can list out all those guest accounts and this is the one of the account. This account does not have that enabled. So I'll show you that as well. All right, so let's hit enter, then scroll up and it should be perfect. So this is not enabled, right? So gal is not enabled. That means it should be false, but this is a true set now, right? And to do that, let's run this command, right? And this should be set up. Perfect. Now we are good here. Let's set it up. Perfect. Now it is set to false. Now we can just run this commandlet again and we should be able to see it. Perfect. It is set. Now we can just go back to the here and if I just type that user account, right? You can see that this account is showing up over here, but before that it was not showing up, right? Why? Because it was not added into the gallery, right? So if we wanted to or we don't want to see it again, I'll just simply set it to true again and we can see that experience again, right? Because set it to true. Perfect. Now we can see that the results as well. Perfect. Here it is showing up. Right. And let's go back to the client and right. You don't see that. Right. Even Even if I put whole name, it does not show. Even I do search directory, it's not going to show. It says no results found. Why? Because we have disabled that capability over here, right? That is why it is not simply showing at all, right? And if I do copy this whole email address and then I will simply just type, it's going to be added as I wanted to add, right? That's going to allow, but that's not going to be part of my gal list, right? And if we set it to enable, that means now you see that it is not showing up. Let's flip that switch and then we will see the results, right? Perfect. Now it is set. We can just search it again. Okay. Spelling error. Perfect. Here you can see that it is showing up, right? So this is pretty straightforward. And this was for single user. Similarly, we can also do the same enablement or same disablement for multiple users in bulk, right? So this is going to allow us to add all those users in the gal in bulk and is going to be helpful for the administrators and IT pros who are managing all of these kind of activities, right? So this is set to false now. That means it is allowed into the gal and people should be able to use that or search the gal list because guest users are not enabled by default. And that's you can say one of the challenge and many organizations also don't look into it and they don't allow it. So it depends on organization. But yeah, this way we can bring that into the gal and that can be leveraged for all other things, right? So once it is enabled into the gal, then that is allowed and searchable in Teams as well, along with Exchange and all other workloads wherever that's going to be used, right? So that's going to be improving and helping end users to find a right set of users with the right set of identity. And if they know what is their name and how they can identify, if the name is different and if they have the correct identity with the email address, they should definitely be able to find it, right? So that's going to help in that and can be identified easily as well, right? So this way we can do it. And that was from Exchange side, but there's another way for single user from MS Graph PowerShell and for multiple users as well. So this is the single user commandlets where you can see we can just add that respective user and then commandlet is going through this UPN or this commandlets over here to get into user and it's going to update that users simply to the respective, right? And then it's going to show that us, right? So what I will do is I will simply set it to true now for to show you how we can do that, right? And then we can do that using the graph, right? All right, so that's done. Now let's do one thing. Give that email address over here. Okay, so now we can give or run this command it because this is for single user. We just need to run that. All right, so it says that get entry was found in this module, but the module did not load. Okay, so there's module loading problem. First, we need to load that one. Okay, import as module. Then, because this is for users, right? So that we need to import that respective module. Okay, we need to import authentication as well. Now we can give that host commandlets and it should for okay, it says for oh, it's already done. It is still not loading. That is strange. This is the problem of module itself, right? So this is something we need to import as well, but this seems it is even loading. It is still not accepting that change. Probably I'll just close this one again and I will open up the PowerShell 7 and this should work. All right, expand it and let me connect Exchange Online. Password. Okay, let's connect MS or MS Graph. So I'll connect that as well. I'll check that MG context. Yes, perfect. That's connected. Now we will check by running any of these command list, probably this one. It should just give us that whole list. Perfect. So this is working. So we can just import this one again and import this one. Oh, that is still not loading. It's not loaded for the module, or remove the module from this file. Okay, it says either load it or remove it. So that is strange. So just copy this path and open it up. Okay, seems there is a duplicate of this, so probably that is why it is uploading. So I'll just remove one of them and try it again. Yes, one. Okay. That's valid module was I was found. Oh, I was giving another error. It says loading, but the file was not found. That is strange. Now seems we need to install that one. So I'll just install it here. It might take a bit of time because it has to identify and then install it. Okay, because we reboot all those files. So whatever is needed that needs to be installed, and then it has to add all those command lists to the module as well, right? So as I said, we have these two options with single user as well as multi-user update as well. So I'm going to put both of these scripts on GitHub link, right? And also put the GitHub link in the video description so that you can also get it from there and you can use it for your requirements, right? so that it is going to help you to do the same thing for single as well as multiple users, because that's very important to know and how we can use it, right? And since it's going to take a bit of time. Perfect. It seems it is completed. Now let's do one thing. Let's authenticate again. Now let's see. It should import it. Install it, not importing. Okay, let's import it again. Now it's checking whether it has the right. Perfect. It has the right command. Let's to run that up, and now we can run this. Right. Perfect. Now got okay. It says does not exist. That is strange. Or one of its queried reference property objects are not present. What is that queried object? So let's see. Let's check in the script what it's trying to find. Display name replace. Then is a dot display name. Right. So since it is trying to find mail name, right? But we are not trying to update that one. And then it did not identify or provide the right set of attributes, right? So definitely I'll make that change and rerun it, because if I have to do that now, it's going to make very long video, but you can give it a try on these commandlets and it should work for your requirements as well. And once this is updated, I'll put those scripts in GitHub and share it, right? So that would be available for access and use. Right. So yeah, that is all I wanted to show you and talk about how you can use it and make the guest users available in Cal, right? So that it is easy for internal and external people, especially the people who are interacting with external vendors partners, and they can use it for their communication, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. Hope you like it. Please do share this video with friends and people around you. Also like it and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you get to see every new video whenever it's uploaded, right? That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.